Hi everyone, my name is David Rao and I'm the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find my ideas on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, and a variety of other places when you search for my name, David Rao, or Make Moments Matter. You can even go to makemomentsmatter.org, my blog, and find some ideas there. I'm so excited that you decided to join me tonight to spend a little bit of time talking about teaching music in this crazy world under COVID-19. So I'm excited to share a little bit tonight. My plan tonight is to share some tech tips and tech ideas, things that have worked for me that I am incorporating into my lessons, both my in-person lessons and my pre-recorded or asynchronous or whatever you're planning on doing lessons. To share some of the things that have worked for me, specifically with iPad and MacBook, things that are working with me and are going on in my classroom. And then with the time allowed, I'm going to share just some of my lesson plans so you get an idea of how some of those things are going on in my classroom. I'm making a lot of adaptations this year, making a lot of changes, and my school's in a hybrid model, and I sincerely hope we stay this way for a while because I'm making all these changes, and I know that one of the things that I know is I'm doing all this work, and I know that if we change back to in-person or we change to all whatever, that a lot of the stuff I'm doing now is going to work for sub-plans later on, either this year or the year after the year after. So I'm not doing this work in vain. I know that. I'm just reminding myself. Anyway, all that to say, today I'm talking a little bit about tech, how you can use tech a little bit better, some things that you can change and adapt, specifically or especially for iPad that might be helpful, even if you just have one iPad as a teacher iPad or can borrow one or have one at home. These are things that you can use that will help you in the classroom. Okay. Before I get to any of the stuff I'm going to talk about tonight, normally I say, go check the links page. If I ever talk about a link or an idea or an app or whatever, I'll link it on the links page, which is on my webpage, makemomentsmatter.org. You can find it when you search or pull the drop-down tab for videos. It's down there at the bottom. It's also linked here on Facebook in the caption. It's also on Instagram on my LinkedIn profile. But it's been one of those weeks, so there's nothing on the links page for this week. It's all the last 4 weeks, but I will be adding all those links and things as soon as I get off this video tonight. Okay, also the conversation keeps going on throughout the week. Lots of people have been asking great questions and having great conversations on my Facebook group, which is Every Moment Matters, Music Education Community. So go join that group if you want, get some ideas, talk to people, ask questions. There are no dumb questions, especially this year. Ask away. And that's all. I can't read my notes. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's been a long day. And conversation. Please have questions, ask questions, answer questions. It's always fun when I see people chatting in the feed for the video and someone's like, what's that thing? And someone answers it before I can even get a chance to answer it. So it's great when you answer each other, because then it feels less like David sitting in his home office talking to his phone and more like an actual conversation, which is what I think we all benefit from. So, okay. All that to say, those are some of the preamble things. Just my rules for myself this week. One, give yourself some flexibility. Be willing to make changes and be willing to be flexible. Say yes, and so if someone's like, hey, can you do this? Like, sure, and figure out a way that you can add to the conversation or add your musical thing. Or if someone's like, hey, oh my gosh, can you? It's just it's so tricky this year. Can you somehow do a math thing? Sure, and I'm going to make it musical, and we're going to, see how you can connect in. And then give yourself grace, because it's a crazy time. So be willing to give yourself a little bit of freedom and grace. I know there are a couple times this week where something has happened and something's weird, and a parent's like, hey, so why is this assignment? I don't understand. And I've commented with, I'm so sorry, I'm still learning this platform. And they're like, it's okay, we're all learning. So parents are giving grace. You can give yourself grace too. Okay. Oh, and then, the last rule for myself, don't go overboard. It's very easy to do way more work than probably you need to do. And so don't go overboard. Do things that you know you can do. Take on the things that you know are worthwhile challenges. And then if you have time for extra, great. And if not, that's okay. So give yourself a little bit of grace and don't go overboard. Okay. So my adaptations this year, one of the rules I've been giving myself is like, go back to your old lessons and see what's worked, and then pull what's worked, do what you still can, adapt the things you can't, and shelve the things that you know you can't even adapt and just do them some other day later in the year or whatever. So some of the things I've been thinking about this year is like, how can I change and adapt that thing? Or how can I make this a lesson that they do from home? Or how can, because one of the things that my school is doing, so we're a hybrid, so half of the kids in a class are in school one day and the other half are supposed to be learning at home, right? Which is a great idea. But for me, what does that mean? Well, that means that I have to change my thinking and my plans. So now when I'm planning my lessons, I try and plan the stuff that I can't do in school for those at-home lessons, which is a really cool idea until you think about like, but how does that work? So for example, I know that for me, I do not feel it's safe to sing in schools. We don't have proper ventilation. My kids aren't wearing the tight-fitting masks. They can't leave the room after we've sung for a while. Like all of the things that the Colorado University study has said, like these are the ways that you can sing safely, we don't have at my school. So like I could maybe go sing outside, maybe, but like, there are all these complications and the logistics of how do you get outside and all that stuff. So my thought was like, I'm going to sing at home. We'll do the singing at home. But how do you make that work? So I wanted to show you a couple adaptations of like how I'm doing that so that my kids can do some of the singing at home. I'm actually going to sort of click you through one of my at-home lessons so you can see what that looks like, a kindergarten lesson, and then talk about how you might adapt that for you, and sort of show you some of that. So my plan is to move all of the singing stuff to the at-home lesson, to do all the sort of vocal exploration stuff, all of that at home, and then all my in-school lessons will be like rhythm reading and body percussion and improvisation and whatever. But all of the at-home stuff is going to be singing. But then I came up with the question like, well, how do I do that? Do I just send them to a YouTube video? I don't want to do that. How do I integrate that? How to like get them singing really instead of just like, here, watch this video, So I'm going to show you some of the adaptations, some of the things I did at my school. And you might notice that some of the things you're going to see are ocean or fish or pirate related. It's because our theme this school year, I wore my school shirt to show you, is seize the day. Gotta love a good pun, right? Oh, and look, my art teacher drew this. It's a ship, and the hull of the ship is a whale. I love it. Also perfect because 2 years ago I bought a shirt that is like all whales. I got it at Old Navy for an ocean concert I was doing, and I was like, when am I ever going to wear this again? Guess what? All year long I'm going to be wearing that whale shirt. So anyway, so if you see some ocean or whatever themed things, that's why. Okay, so all my students have iPads. I know that that's not true for every school, but all my students have iPads. We are one-to-one. I have a teacher iPad, and so I've been thinking in the last couple weeks, like, how do I leverage that? Because they're going to be at home with their iPad. So I know that they're going to have access to technology. How do I use that? But then also, how do I use my teacher iPad in a smart way? And I want to show you some of the tricks that I've learned, some things that I've learned, and how I incorporate those in my lessons. Flipping the screen and showing you my iPad works like probably half the time. So let's hope tonight is one of those half times. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to try and flip this around and try and show you. Ooh, okay. I got it flipped around for Facebook. We're going to see if I can zoom her in. Okay, and I got to shut this off. Thanks for giving me grace as I try and figure this out. Okay, so we're zoomed in there. Let's see if we can insta-zoom. Oh my gosh, I can. I did not think I could. Y'all, this is an exciting night. All right. Okay, I'm going to try and sorry. Thanks so much for giving me grace as I figure out my setup, because it always never works. So, cool. Ooh. Okay, cool. If you can't hear me, just leave me a comment. But, I mean, if you can't hear me, I guess you wouldn't know that I said that. All right, so on my teacher iPad, here I am. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been uploading things to my iPad and then recording. So I wanted to show you, if you might already know this, but if you don't, if you go into the settings and you go to let's see, Control Center, right? you can customize your controls, and one of the things that you can add is this thing down here that says screen recording. You'll see why that matters in just a second. But I've added screen recording now to my control center. Okay, so now that means that when I'm anywhere basically on my iPad, I can swipe down my control center, and this little dot, come back. This little dot means that I can record my screen and the audio for what I'm recording at any given time. So if I tap that, now it's going to record me, and now it's recording. Whatever happens on my screen, it's going to record it and save it to photos, and whenever I'm done, I can tap this thing and stop it, and it's going to save it to my photos. And now, so if like I wanted to do a demonstration of how to find something or how to do something, I could record it with my screen recording, and I could share it with my students. So let me give you an example of one of the things that I do. So at the beginning of class or in a virtual lesson, one of the things I wanted to try and incorporate was more music history, more information about musicians, trying to give kids more context about the world of music. So one of the things that I have in my Teachers Pay Teacher store that I use every year as a bulletin board are these profiles of musicians. So every monthly pack has 30 musicians. So September there are 30 highlighted musicians in the month, and it goes through here. I'll find one and show you. So it goes through and get like Beyonce, Gloria Estefan, Gloria Gaynor, John Cage, Anton Bruckner, Pink. So it goes through each one, and so like it has their name, it has the day they were born, and then a little bit of a blurb about them. So what I wanted to do was in my not in person, my at-home lesson, I wanted to give kids more information about some of these people. So I was like, it's September, so I pulled the September pack, and so here's exactly what I would do. I found Jennifer Hudson. I knew I wanted to highlight her because I figured she was on American Idol. Kids might have heard of her, but maybe not. So why not give them a strong black woman to learn about in this month? Why not? So what I would do is I would pull it up on my iPad just like this. I would swipe down from my control center. I'd hit record, and I'll show you exactly what I record so you can sort of see. 3, 2. Jennifer Hudson, born September 12th. Jennifer Hudson is an American singer and actress who rose to fame as a finalist on the 3rd season of American Idol. She won an Academy Award for her role in the movie musical Dreamgirls, and has performed around the world at venues like the Super Bowl, the Grammy Awards, and an event for President Obama. And then, sorry, I don't even have to actually press that. Sorry, it's re-recording a new one now. I did that wrong, so obviously. But if you are recording here, I'll go back and record again. Okay. So I'm live. You know if this little red thing is on, you're live. But actually, if you just tap up here on this little dot, then you can stop recording that way. I stopped it the wrong way. But it takes me like, what, 20, 30 seconds to record myself reading this. But then you can put that in a PowerPoint. And so as you're clicking through when you come in for a class, you can click that and let that play as you're setting up or taking roll or whatever if you're doing in person. Or if you're at home, this is a really fun thing to just jump and bump into a lesson. You could maybe also link to a YouTube video where she's performing on American Idol, or, you know, maybe the President Obama event was recorded, I don't know. But you can find a cool recording to go with that, and this is one of the things that I add in as a lesson. And that's just with the screen recording. It's so easy to do. And on the newer iPads, the microphone is so nice. I could add in my external microphone, but the microphone is so great it picks up my voice. I don't really have a problem. One of the other fun things I wanted to show you, if you go back to your settings, if you go to this little thing right here that says accessibility. So that's down from, it's in the main screen, it's down general control center, blah, blah, blah. Accessibility has the little person in the circle. One of the cool things you can do, this is basically to make your iPad more accessible if someone has a visual impairment or hearing impairment or something else, or you want the iPad to read to you, stuff like that. But one of the things I do is touch, and I click on this thing that says Assistive Touch at the very top, and I turn that on. Now I've had to use this before in other instances, like if your home button breaks, you can get this little, it's this little circle thing, and really if you tap it, it becomes, well, it can be a camera. I have it set to, if you do a single tap, you could do a screenshot. You can have it be an app switcher. There are a lot of things you can make that thing do. You can also make it your home button. So like if you press it, it takes you home, right? Well, I don't really want to do that. I think I had that as a screenshot. Where did I put that? Screenshot. Okay, but the cool thing about it is it really highlights where you are. So if you are doing like a Zoom call and you're mirroring this screen, or if you're doing a screen recording, you want them to focus on something, you can do this and it's going to show them the cursor, basically. So let me give you an example of what I would do with that. So, okay, I don't want done with that. So let's say I'm doing with my kindergarten, I want to do vocal exploration at home. Well, how do you do that? Here's a way you can do that. By the way, this vocal exploration is free. I'll put it as a link on my links page when I do that tonight after I get off this call. Okay, so let's say I wanted to do a screen recording of the vocal explorations. Well, they're not animated, it's just a picture. And the reason I have them is because in the classroom, I can put it up on my smartboard or whatever, and I can do an in-class vocal exploration in normal year. It's not a normal year. So instead, I would go through and I would do this with my students. So I would leave my little assistive touch thing here, and then I would do something sort of like this. Let's record one and we'll see sort of what we get. Hi friends, I'm so glad you're here. I need some help with these ocean animals because they need to get where they're going and they just need our help. Look at this, it says, help the little fish swim down to the seaweed. Now this little fish definitely needs help. He's way up high in the ocean and he needs to go down low. And look, this pink path is what he's gonna take to go from high all the way down to low, but he needs our help. He needs our voices. So listen to this. I'm going to use my voice to go from high down to low. So listen to this. Here I go. Woo! Whoa, that was so much fun. Can you help me this time? Here we go. Woo! Okay, so I would do that, and then I'd go to the next one, and I'd give them the whole spiel. We'd help the turtle. We'd go up and do the thing, right? So then when I'm done, I hit the stop recording button. It saves it to my photos. Let's just open that up and see what that looks like. So let me play it. Oh, glad you're here. I need some help with these ocean animals because they need to get where they're going and they just need our help. Look at this. It says, help the little fish swim down to the sea. So you can see it recorded. It recorded the little cursor. So I'm going to mute this. But you can see it recorded my voice, it recorded the screen, and it recorded the little assistive touch cursor thing. So now when I'm doing the vocal exploration, if I record it and I put it on YouTube or send it to them as a link or whatever, they're going to see that cursor, which makes this way more exciting. So now I can send this home and they get the cursor to go with it, which helps them see how the movement on the page, the movement from high to low can match the sound we're making vocally, right? So I turn my sound off.
So I would do that, and then I'd go to the next one, and I'd give them the whole spiel. We'd help the turtle. We'd go up and do the thing, right? So then.
Okay, so I love that I'm talking in myself in the video stuff. So the cool thing about that is that now I can record that. I can upload it to YouTube or whatever, however you're sending things home to students, and this can be a part of their lesson. This can be a part where they see the vocal exploration. They're going to do it with me. This vocal exploration has like 10 of these. Oh, sorry, I got to go back to the actual thing. Yeah. So it has 10 of the actual like pre-made things, all different things going from low to high, going from high to low, slopes, swoops, squiggles, everything. And then there's a draw your own. So if you're like, oh, I don't like any of the ones David made, well, guess what? You can go into the PDF if it's on your iPad, and you can, you can mark it up if you want. Make your own thing. Have the little, hello. Well, let's just do this one. Okay, so you can mark it up and do your own thing. Ooh, that is not big enough. Can we do a different size here? I don't know how to do that. I'm sure that's a thing, but I don't know. Ooh, I'll do my highlighter. Okay. So you can mark it up if you want and then do a screen recording of that. you know, do your own thing, and then when you're ready to screen record, you get your little assist guy over here, and you can, you know, mark that up. So the cool thing is that you can do whatever you want with that PDF on your iPad. It is so simple to record on the iPad, and then what I do is I just upload it to my school YouTube account. I make it an unlisted video so people aren't just going to stumble on it while they're searching the internet, and then I can put that into different lessons, and it makes the lesson so cool because I can have all these little custom elements that I have created going into that lesson. So when I'm sitting there going like, well, how am I going to get them to sing? This is me, my voice that they hopefully know, and going through an exercise like this. There's something else I wanted to show you on here. Done with that. Oh yeah, so another thing I would do is a screen recording. I have these favorite folk song sets that I've made, and I would go through as I'm teaching a song or whatever, and I might go through and record things on each slide. So I could do a little video where I talk about, you know, this folk song comes from England, and then talk about what a folk song is. I could just sit here, press record, read the slide, press stop, be done, and then, you know, maybe embed that on a PowerPoint, embed that on Google Slides. I don't know, whatever platform you're using. I use Nearpod. I'll show you how that works for me. But you're able to screen record this stuff, get your voice, get the thing, and then they can follow along at home. And if you want to use your little cursor, you can. But I already have all these favorite folk song sets. This gives me a little bit of history, some vocabulary, things that connect with all of that. Those are all things that I can incorporate into my lesson and add in to sort of make it more exciting, to make it more effective. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat real quick to see if anyone is saying any questions or saying anything. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to quick get some comments here. Someone said, at my school, the kids can only use their school-issued Chromebooks. Can we upload that into Google Smart Learning Suite? I don't know about Google Smart Learning Suite, but I know if you take a video on your iPad, you can upload it to videos, you can upload it to YouTube, you can connect all that in. So even if they're on a Chromebook, they can still access the video. Basically, I'm just taking a video. I don't know if you can do a screen recording quite like this on a Chromebook. I don't know, Megan. I just don't know Chromebooks. Okay, let's see. Anything else in here that I need to touch on right now? Doesn't look like it. Okay, and then someone said, do you have the Assistive Touch set to again? Let me show you how to do that one more time. So that's a great question, to get this little cursor thing. Okay, so you go in your main settings on your iPad, you go to Accessibility, and then you go to Touch, which should be right here under the physical and motor category. And you hit Touch, and you take Assistive Touch and you just turn it on. If you turn it off, my cursor's gone. But if you turn it on, there it is, and if you do a screen recording, this stays in the recording, which makes that vocal exploration possible. It wouldn't be possible if you weren't able to screen record the little circle guy. Cool. Okay, so let me show you another thing. I'm actually going to turn that off for the moment. And I want to show you, I'm using Nearpod at my school, and you know, other folks aren't using Nearpod. That's cool, but whatever you're doing, I just want to show you sort of how I'm using Nearpod and what a kindergarten asynchronous, like an at-home lesson, what that looks like. I think you could do this same thing in Google Classroom or Google Slides, maybe. I don't know Google Slides. I think because the cool thing about Nearpod is it melds everything together. It makes everything sort of seamless. I'll show you here. So my link code is okay. So here's the first screen they get. Oh, join the session. Okay, welcome to music. Oh, hey, there's Mr. Rabbitmoji. Cool. So the first thing I've included is a little hello song. It's just the same sort of thing I would do if they were in my classroom, but it's now, I put the song on YouTube, and Nearpod links the video into the slideshow, and it looks really seamless. Like, it looks like the video is embedded, but it's actually pulling this from YouTube. So what did I say? Let's hear.
Hi everyone, it's me, Mr. Rao, in the music room at Prairie Ridge Elementary School. I'm so glad you're here today and that you get to spend some time with me in music class. Now, even though you're at home, you can still do some really fun music things today, like singing and maybe doing some moving and exploring. There's lots to do.
Okay, so I talk, right? So, but this is like my intro. It took me 3 minutes literally to record this on my phone. I uploaded it to YouTube as an unlisted video and marked it like Welcome Song 1. Right, and so in the song we do our hello song, like hello, how are you? I even do like hello student, and they say like hello Mr. Rao. And because, you know, these are kinders and they haven't really done that before, where is he? Teddy, hello. I pull out my teddy bear to sing with me, but I don't know where that is in the lesson. I don't know where he went. Hello, Teddy, where'd you go? I don't know, apparently he's not showing it. He's real. Oh, there he is. So I sing to the teddy bear, it sings back, and then I sing to the screen and I let them sing back to me. Okay, so that's like the first thing that goes in the lesson. Then I'm going to read them Peanut Butter and Cupcake, which I shared about a couple weeks ago on my Musical Mondays, and I shared the whole lesson last year. I just did a screen recording of this where I put the book down on my table. I showed you a couple weeks ago how I took a phone and made it into basically a document camera, and then I just recorded that. So this is just basically me reading it.
Peanut Butter and Cupcake. Written and illustrated by Terry Border.
Okay, so that's me again, and I like I'm on purpose doing it so that the students are hearing my voice. They're seeing me flipping through. It is not super high tech. It's just me recording it with my phone, but it's there so that they can hear my voice. You could find a recording of this online, but I'm taking this and I'm just uploading it to YouTube as an unlisted video again so that it's not shareable to anyone else. It's only to me who has the link. No one's going to stumble on it and find it. No kids are going to either. It's only really there to embed in my Nearpod. And honestly, I could embed it right into Nearpod, but I'm putting it on YouTube because then it saves me some space on Nearpod, if that makes sense. So I'm not uploading as much content to Nearpod and getting charged for it. I'm just putting it on YouTube. Okay, so we read Peanut Butter and Cupcake. And then the cool thing I love about Nearpod is I can upload this picture that says control your hands, and I can record a voiceover. I don't know if Google Slides will let you do that, but so now the kids will notice there's a little sound thing down here, so let's listen to what I recorded. Just a sound recording that goes with this slide.
Whenever you're new to a place, you have to learn all the rules and expectations about how to behave. And guess what, kindergarten? You're new to Prairie Ridge Elementary. So I thought I should teach you a song all about how to control your hands and have great behavior. Click to the next slide to sing along and learn this song about controlling your hands.
Okay, so the song is Open, Shut Them. So if you know that song at all, it's about opening and shutting your hands, putting your hands in your lap, clapping, sort of like that. So it's a really simple song. Again, it's just me in front of my word wall. I'm trying to move around my classroom so that when they do get into my classroom, or if they see into my classroom, they know where I am, and they know that I'm at school. I'm at Prairie Ridge. Then it's time to sing. Guess what? There's the vocal exploration that I recorded from earlier. So let's just look at us. Well, we already looked through this, so you can just sort of see that as I'm doing it. Let's see if I got an example.
The jellyfish through the waves. Let's try.
Now, while you're doing that, you could record with a slide whistle, you could record with your voice, whatever you want to do. But that's just what I showed you just a second ago. This is just it in application in the actual Nearpod lesson. Then they get to meet Snowy the Owl. We sing with Snowy. This is in my normal lessons every year. She sings, "Who are you?" And they get to sing their name. It's obviously they're not going to be singing it to me in person. They're going to be singing it at home. But this is just an adaptation of a lesson I've already done. Again, I just recorded it. It took me 7.5 minutes. It's just as I would record it as I normally would. I didn't do any editing to the video. I just uploaded it onto YouTube as an unlisted video. And then they're done. And that's the lesson. But the reason I did all that was so that they could actually click through and that's sort of the experiencing what a normal music lesson would be like. It's all singing, right? Because I'm trying to shove in all the singing in one day, but they're getting all of that in the lesson. And that's the end of the lesson, and they have another one sort of like this tomorrow. The cool thing about Nearpod is it lets you integrate all the videos. It lets you integrate, there are some, with older grades, you can have them do a quiz, and some other things like that. I don't know if I can show you that. Maybe I can go back and show you my Nearpod lesson. Oh, hello. Yes, exit my lesson. Maybe I can show you one of my older grades. You're going to see some of these things are like, it's not done. Let's, first or second, let's look at this one. Okay, so let me see if I can just show this. QRWBM. 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 So, QRWBM. This lesson is not really done, but I'm going to show you in a minute. Guess what? It looks almost the same as kindergarten to start. Because I didn't want to work too hard, so I just changed the color because it's color-coded for my 4th grade. So, join the lesson. Hey, hooray. Let's see what they've got. Oh, guess what? This is not recorded yet, so this is my placeholder solfege challenge. But the cool thing about this is they have this cool integration so you can actually match the word to the sign. So, Ray. So that's cool. They've got little games in here, right? So me, this is not that hard because it actually has the label on it, right? But still, it's something. When it gets harder, when it's just the hand on its own. But for now, it's easy. But that's something that kids can do. It's a little game. They think it's interactive and fun. I love that about Nearpod. It lets you do that. So when it said solfege lesson before, that would be me showing some of those things, and then there's the quiz. So then I go into, this is a lesson about patriotic songs. We're going to talk about This Land Is Your Land. We're going to talk about Star Spangled Banner.
What is a patriotic song? A song that is patriotic.
So I basically just go through and read each of these slides. So this is one of my favorite folk song sets. I go through and read. I share a little bit on each page. And again, the cool thing about Nearpod is it lets me record that voiceover so that they can hear some of that. So the other cool thing about Nearpod, and I'll see if I can jump down and show you. Yeah, so once we get down, we talk about all the vocabulary, everything that goes in, metaphor. Then I actually go through and I sing the song. We do it a little bit. I say, oh, you can go back and sing it again if you want. And then I'm able to also integrate a video. This is Pete Seeger and I think Bob Dylan singing This Land Is Your Land from YouTube. It's a already YouTube video, and I just integrate it in and put it in Nearpod, which is really cool. And then we go into a lesson on Star Spangled Banner. I want to show, oh, of course I have the Whitney Houston video in there, her singing Star Spangled Banner. I want to show you at the very, very end, the other cool thing about Nearpod is it lets me do a poll. So it's like, what's your favorite part of music lesson today? I'm going to say, This Land Is Your Land. Cool! And then they're done. And then that'll populate for me, and I can see their name and I can see their vote. And so it sort of lets me get a little bit more feedback about what they liked. You could put anything. You could have an exit ticket in there like, what? Tell me one fact about This Land Is Your Land. And they have to write a little paragraph or whatever. Like there's so many cool integrations for Nearpod. But that's just sort of how I use Nearpod. I wanted to share that with you, so you could sort of see the process there. Let's see. Are my lessons available in Nearpod? No. They are only available for my kiddos, I'm afraid. Because there's copyrighted stuff that I have that my kiddos can use. Is Nearpod free? Yes. Up to 100 megabytes. And then if you upload more than that, it costs. It's like $120 a year for the gold. But a lot of bigger districts, like Lydia, you're in Cobb County, you might have Nearpod Gold. Like, you might have it. So some of the really big districts, like my old district, Cherokee County, had Nearpod Gold. So if you go in, you don't have to worry about that. Or they may even have an enterprise account, which is really fancy. So it's pretty exciting. Amy Burns says if you use the paid version of Pear Deck with Google Slides, you can record on the slide. Cool! So if you're a Google Slide person, you can integrate that and make that work. You can add audio recordings to Google Slides and make it play automatically when the student gets to the slide, says Allison. Amazing. Can you embed safe YouTube links in Nearpod? I know, but Nearpod doesn't, like at the end of a video, it doesn't pop up the next video. It doesn't, you can't go to YouTube. You can't leave Nearpod and to do it. You're sort of stuck on Nearpod. So it does all the safe YouTube stuff for you, I think. So that's the cool thing about it. Where'd you get the fun t-shirt? It's my school t-shirt. Pear Deck with Google Slides similar to Nearpod. Is there an extension for fun cursors? Oh, on Screencastify. Cool. Lots of people in the Facebook chat are talking about different things that you can use to record: Loom, Screencastify, all of that. The only thing I would say, Holly and Amy and Jennifer, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm reading your chat here, is that some of those things will cap you at 5 minutes, or they'll cap you on time or whatever, unless you have the paid version. But screen recording your iPad will not. Because it's your iPad, you can do whatever you want. You can also screen record on your laptop if you have a MacBook. Speaking of MacBook, I want to show you one thing from my MacBook. I want to show you, while I've got the screens flipped around, and again, I hope you can see this, I don't know, this is for in-person kindergarten. Now, one of the things that I'm trying to do is to make my life a little easier, not have to go back and forth to my computer. So I know a couple of years ago when smartboards were a really cool thing, people would like load up their deck of what's going to happen that day, and each activity would have a slide, and then they could just click through to whatever. So what I'm planning to do is something very similar. So this is my kindergarten class, and when I walk in, there's welcome music, and the next thing is, let's visit the music room. Okay, so I'm going to have a little interactive, like a video going down to the music room so they can see my music room, even though we're not going to it this year, or right now anyway. And then we're going to learn about Crisscross Applesauce. I don't need this slide, but it's there so that I can just click through and not have to go look at my lesson plans or not have to do something else. This is just a visual cue for me and for the students about what we're doing next. So I know that means we're going to do Crisscross Applesauce and a little body percussion. Then we're going to meet Tabby, my cat. Again, I don't really need this slide, but it's there as a placeholder so I'm not running back and forth to my lesson plans to remember what's next. Then we're going to do engine number 9. So again, just a placeholder. I already did a screen recording, a video of myself reading Freight Train, so it's already embedded into the PowerPoint, so all I have to do is click this.
This book is called Freight Train.
And it'll start up. So the reason I have that in there is I could read it in person, but I know that I'm going to want a little mental break, and I'm going to want a chance to sort of step back, assess the class, see what's going on, hand sanitize. So I have it embedded in here so I don't have to stop, pull out my book, go into whatever. It's just in the slides already. We're going to talk about opposites, musical opposites. If we have time, we're going to read Music Is.
Share this book with
Again,
you
it's already
Music
just embedded in there. We're going to do the song Walk Around if we have time. And you can't see this, but in the slide is I pulled onto the slide the song. So if I click next, the song starts up. It's loud. Okay, so what I'm noticing is it's loud. And then we're done. So what I'm noticing is it's loud. So one of the cool things about if I go to this slide, so you can see it now that I'm not, this is Keynote. It's like the Mac version of PowerPoint. So I've just taken the song and I pulled it on. There it is. You can't see it when you're playing the slide. It doesn't show up, but it is embedded on the slide. So one of the things I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go click it, and I'm going to turn it down. It's loud. Okay, so now if I save, it'll save, and the next time when I click and play, not as loud. Still loud. I'm going to have to play with that. It's a loud song. Anyway, it's all there. It sort of mimics what they're going to see in Nearpod for continuity, but it's also just there so I'm not running back and forth to lesson plans. I'm not running back and forth to other stuff. Okay, let me flip this back around and try and do some recapping. Okay. So all the stuff that you saw, the vocal exploration, the musician of the week, let's see what else I show. Oh, the favorite folk songs. All those are things that I already have, and I'm just taking them and sort of recording a bit or a bob or piece or whatever, so that then I can embed it either into a virtual lesson or an in-person lesson to just make my life a little bit easier. And even some of the things were like, maybe I don't have to record it and put it in. I'm doing it so that I have a recorded version, so if I need a minute, I need a breather, I'm in person, I can use it. Or if I want to throw it into an online lesson, I can do that too. Ooh, I gotta turn my little mic around. Sorry. And I see that, yeah, Joellen mentioned there's a Teachers Pay Teachers sale tomorrow. That's true. But I'll also say for the things I showed you tonight, For the vocal exploration, I have a free one online. It's my Ocean one. I'll put a link to that on the links page. My musician of the month, you get 30 every month. I think July is free, so if you're like, I don't care what month they were born in, there's some cool musicians born in July. That one's free. You can go pull that one. If you don't want to use like people from this month, favorite folk song, a couple of those are free. So if you want to like try it out at home, you're like, I don't want to pay and try it. You can do that on Teachers Pay Teachers. I have those free ones there, and there is a sale going on tomorrow. But so if you want to get more stuff or whatever, that's an option. But anyway, I just want to share that and show you that so that you could see how I do those recording things in my normal everyday lessons. I see Pamela's talking about either Screencastify or Loom, I'm not sure which, but she says the educator discount is $29, unlimited length, and editing capabilities. Cool. If you want to screen record. I have an iPad. I have the MacBook, so it makes it so easy. If you have one of those things, it's really easy to record. I love the accessibility function. And the other cool thing is that from my iPad, I can go, Pamela says Screencastify, thank you. From my iPad, I can go to the YouTube app and upload the video straight from my iPad. I don't have to put it on a computer, I don't have to do anything else. I'm just on my school Wi-Fi, I hit upload and it goes. I try and keep my videos sort of short so I can plug them in different places, but it makes it really easy to do. Lisa says, what kind of stand do you have for your phone to make your recordings? Of course I don't have it right here. It looks like an old school, like the Pixar mascot, like lamp, like the squeaky little lamp that has like the swing arm on it. I'll send you a link, Lisa. It's really simple. It makes it very, very easy. Where can we find the song Walk Around? It's just called Walk Around, and I shared about it in my Instagram and Facebook stories last week. The composer is Dino Odell, and it's on an album called Itty Bitty Monsters. But it's also on Spotify, I think, maybe on YouTube, but you can find him on the iTunes store. The whole album is cool. There are a lot of great songs on there, so it's worth buying the whole thing if you want. But you can also then, if you own the songs, embed it into YouTube, or not YouTube, but embed it into PowerPoint or Keynote or whatever. Megan says, what stand are you using for your iPad? Like a really cheapo one that I found on Amazon. I'll find a link for that, and Megan, if you email me, makemomentsmatter@gmail.com, I'll send you the direct link, or I'll put it on the links page. I actually have an Amazon list of like all the like little things I bought, like my I don't know where it went, my Bluetooth keyboard that I use for my iPad, or the stands, all that like tech for digital learning is all on one list, so you can either put it in your cart or find it somewhere else or whatever. If you want, I'll make sure that link is in the links page too, for all the tech for digital learning. Cool. So those are sort of the things that are like not, like they're digital resources, like the favorite folk song or the vocal exploration or whatever. They're not necessarily made for what's happening right now. I'm just taking them and adapting them, and I'm using them in sort of another way so that they can become digital resources, so that they can become more accessible. Like the musician of the month, I'm recording, Jennifer Hudson. I just did one the other day for Charlie Parker because he was born not too far from here, like less than 15 miles from where my school is. And so I'm putting those on. And so at the beginning of a lesson, either in person or online, I can just press play, and then instead of me having to read through in front of them while I'm taking roll or while I'm fiddling with my iPad or whatever, I can just press play and go. And if it's pre-recorded, it's nice to be able to do that. So that's one of the ease things I hope that you'll take from tonight, is record things early so you don't have to worry about it when you're in front of kids. Susan said, will you tell us how to get to your Amazon list? Yes. I will. It's on the links page. Or you can go to amazon.com/something/make moments matter music ed. It's on the links page. makemomentsmatter.org. On my links page, you can find it there. Okay, I want to show you a couple more things that you can try on the iPad, either in person or at home, because we're always looking for more of those. And I've sort of showed a couple things, but again, I want to show you how I'm prepping students to do it with some of those recording and accessibility things. So let me flip this. I'm so sorry, I keep flipping this, but I hope it'll be helpful. So let me flip this back around. show you my iPad again. He's saying bye. No, don't leave yet because we're not done. Let me just zoom this in. Welcome to my home office, everyone. I'm hoping you're loving the view of the wall art and bathroom door. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Let me just turn this around. Sorry, Facebook, please don't get seasick. All right, cool. All right, so one of the other things that I love about the iPad, and I love that my students have this iPad, is I can use QR codes. Let me turn my accessibility back on so I can do the touch thing again. So again, I go accessibility, I go to touch, I turn on assistive touch, and there's my little home button there. So one of the things that I love about the iPad is it's always sort of searching for QR codes. So one of the games that I'm going to have my students do, asynchronous, is this game called Collect the Dragon's Gems. This is in my TPT store. Actually, this is the demo version, so you can go and get it and download it for free and try it yourself. So if I put the QR code in front of my screen, guess what? It pops up a thing saying, hey, do you want to open it up? Yeah, let's open it up. So if I'm doing in person with students, I can do that to help get them there. With students at home, it also comes with a link that you can just embed into an assignment so they can go to it. So let's play the Instrument Families game. So the cool thing about this is that it is interactive, which kids sort of love. Even the transitions are sort of interactive. So I can go through and volcano adventure. Match the instrument name to its picture to find the gems hidden near the volcano. Okay, cool. Ooh, the kids are always like, oh my gosh, it's so big. Okay, so name the instrument. Mountain dulcimer, violin, electric guitar. Let's say electric guitar. No, you got a little squish bird. Okay, let's say mountain dulcimer. Nope. Okay, so it's violin. So when you get the right one, you earn a gem. I had one little girl who was like, she got the first one, she was like, and she was really excited. So you got to go to the next one. Let's just do one more here. Name the instrument. It's a cello. No, it's not. Okay, you can also shut the sound off. I was like practicing this, and I forget where it was. It was at school. I was like, practicing or trying through or whatever, and someone was like, oh my gosh, what's that sound? I was like, I'm so sorry. Auto harp, oh my gosh, amazing, wonderful. Okay, so what I would do with students, let me just X, so there's a little X up here, right? I'm going to X out, and I'm actually going to exit this one to show you the other game too. So what I would do if I wanted students to do this, I would show them sort of something like this. I'd pull down my screen recorder, there's my screen recording function again. Right, okay, so I'm going to screen record. And I'd say, collect the gems. We need your help to collect all the lost gems. Choose a game below to begin your adventure. Now, students, guess what? I've got the game all about dynamics. I've got musical symbols. I've got note, ooh, I lost it. I've got note value, or I have tempo. Let's try dynamics. Mountain adventure. Choose the symbol that matches the musical vocabulary word to find the gems hidden in the musical mountains. Click here to start. So basically I'm just taking them through and I'm doing a quick screen recording. I can show them 2 minutes, or I can post with the assignment. So if they're at home, like with a parent or not, and they want to get started but don't really know or can't figure out or can't read through whatever, this helps them out. Tap the symbol that matches this word. Forte. Loud, because there's a little description there. Let's see, maybe it's the letter P. Oh, no, okay, and I turned off the sound, so I'm going to turn back the sound so that the kids could get their recorded sound. F, that's probably it. Oh, no. F, let's try that. So then they get the gem, right? So I would maybe do 2 or 3 of these. I would show them, like, click the next, like, obvious, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but for some kids, maybe not. But if you're doing a screen recording to show them how it works, that's a great thing to do. You can always do a little screen recording to show, like, the X up in the top right corner means you can go back to the main screen. And then you can try it. There we go. Oops, sorry. And then you could do a note value 1, or what, like, you could show them that it's just a little bit different each one. It's like a different scene or whatever, but they get to earn gems in each place. There are like 12 challenges for each level, I think, on this one. And this is in my TPT store. The demo is free. Let me show you another one. So again, if I want them to do, I'm going to turn my screen recorder off, sorry. So if I wanted to do another one, if I'm in school, I could use the QR. If I'm out of school, it does come with a link. So this one is all about the treble clef. Now, if I were doing this for students, I would definitely say, I'd read through, I'd do a recording, and I would say, there are 4 levels. And the first one is the easiest, the 4th one is the hardest. So start with level 1, then go to level 2, 3, and 4. The crazy thing about this one that I made is like each level has 3 levels of difficulty. So each of those games, it can get really tricky. So I might take them through and sort of just use the screen recording function to show them the process and how it works. So I talk through, like, you read up here, you find the one that works, you find the one that's correct, you tap it, you got a little thing, and then you get to go on to the next level. Okay, and then I would show that the little life preserver up in the top means that you can go back to the main screen. But just taking the screen recording to do like a 2-minute video, honestly, of you doing 2-3 pages, right? It just shows them like, oh yeah, I make mistakes too, number 1, but also how to like play through the game. And then the great thing is that like some people are like, but what if they go to a level that's too hard for them? I feel like that's the music teacher equivalent of like, but what if they choose a book that's not a leveled reader, that's not on their level? You know, like if my kids want to be like, I'm doing pirate. Okay, good luck. Least thing you know where the little life preserver is, because like this is like the more tricky of the levels, and it's like not as easy. And the other levels only have like 8 challenges or 12 challenges per level. This one has like 15 or 20, so it goes on longer and it uses less common things. So like it's a little bit trickier. But if a kid is like, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to the main screen. I'm gonna choose game 4 and I'm gonna do pirate level. Well, this is really tricky because it is all the other like examples are all like words. This one is just random letters. So it really does actually challenge, do they actually know what the letters are? And it goes from 2 letters to 3 letters to 4 to like 5 and 6 letter combinations. Anyway, if they want to do the really difficult one, God bless. And then I think I showed you this one before, but I'll just show you one more time. Okay, let me just do... But these things I'm thinking like these could be in class if they have iPads. It could be at home learning. The cool thing about these games, they work on Chromebook, they work on iPads, whatever, because it has an internet connection. So anyone, it even works on phones. I've done it on my phone. But the games are fun. So this one is Stop the Emojis. Let's do Woodwind's version. Okay, and we'll click through. So the point is you have to identify the right one. So this is like the gem game only. Instead of gems, you get to stop an emoji, which is sort of fun. So again, it's just the same sort of game, it's just a different look, different feel. But the nice thing is, because this game is sort of versatile, I can use it in person or I can use it at home. That's the nice thing about it. And the QR code makes it easy for in person if I want, or I can do a link for a Chromebook or whatever. But I like being able to record it so that kids can do it on their own. Okay, I'm gonna flip this back around. I'm going to turn you one more time. Okay. Sorry, that took me a second. Okay, so the fun thing about that, though, is that it gives... The recording is so easy to do. It's so simple. The kids can do it on their own then once they've tried at least once. And they get hooked on those games because they're like, oh my gosh, they're interactive. I'm earning gems. No, but... they feel very excited about it. So those are just some games that I sort of showed, but you can take whatever you want, and using that screen recording, the accessibility makes demoing for kids, even when they're not in front of you, it makes demoing for students really, really easy. So those are just some of the things, the ways that I use technology and accessibility and things to show kids. I take all of those screen recorded videos and I load them to YouTube, and I make them unlisted videos so that students can, so that I can give them the link to a YouTube video, but if it's unlisted, the kids aren't just jumping on there. It's they can't just search and find it. They have to have my link. So I can embed that into a lesson either in Google Classroom or Apple Class or Classwork or Seesaw or Canvas or whatever it is you have. You can upload those videos and embed them as like little demos. Susan asked, do you upload the complete game file or just certain portions? Well, it's online based, so I just give them the link and they can go do it. But like I said, they sort of get to choose the level they're on. I could say like, we're going to do this one today. They might wander off to a different game, but I don't mind if they're excited to go and try another one that they don't have experience on. Well, they're gonna have experience on it once they try it. So I'm sort of okay with them doing that. Let's see. Love the sounds. Talking about Loom, you can get a free premium account with Loom if you're an educator. You could do that last spring, Abby. I don't know if you still can, because I know that some of those education companies are like, you had it for the first round, and now we don't. We want to make a little bit of money, which they should be able to make. So I don't know, Abby. Let me know if it's still free. I'm not sure about Loom, but let me know. Be cool to know that. I got the Dragon Gem games. I love it. Cool. I have some kiddos, boys and girls, who are like all about the gems. For the dragons. I don't know why. Okay, she says, yes, it's still free for Loom. That's cool. Or Mary says, yes, it's still free. That's amazing. I don't know Loom, so that's great to know. And I hope, Mary, is there a cap on the screen recording time, or is it like forever? Let me know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know Loom, but I'm just using the things that I have. That's why I'm sticking with my screen recording with my iPad and my MacBook. You can do the same thing on MacBook pretty easily. Screen record, and I'm using those because I have those, but there are other things you can use. I just want to show you those accessibility things. Mary says no cap on time. Ooh, cool, for Loom. I just want to show you those things because it makes it easy for me, and I just upload it to YouTube and I'm done. It saves me time. Okay, I'm going to come back next week and talk more about some of the specifics of lesson plans. I just wanted to talk about tech things tonight and give you some insights on how you can use pre-recorded videos in your lesson plans, either digitally or in person. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of pre-recording so that I can use it even in the classroom. Like I can step away and go help a kid while the demo's going on the screen, or I could, with Nearpod, I could send it out to them and they could be sitting, each one have their own iPad and see my little demo video. Whatever, but pre-recording some of that stuff is saving a lot of time later so that I'm not standing and explaining or having to do that while something's happening over here. Like I can differentiate a little bit better with those pre-recorded things. Couple quick reminders. There's the links page I'm going to work on right now because I did not have time before the video to put it there. So I'm going to put links to the technology, links to the free games and things I talked about, links to the stuff. I also have a couple links on how to screen record on, like I found a tutorial video for how to screen record on like a Chromebook and a MacBook, and some other people have done screen recording videos. In case you want those, those are on the links page. And I'm trying to remember what else I talked about. I don't remember. And sorry, Instagram, it cut out. My phone died, so I'm sorry the video stopped in there. But all those things are going to be there. And there's a Teachers Pay Teachers sale tomorrow, so if you're interested in something in my store or another person's store, you're going to have the opportunity to get it for less money tomorrow. So you can go load up your carts now if you want. But I just want to let you know that's coming up tomorrow if you want it. Several of the things I showed you tonight are in my store for free. So go and check them out and find those free resources and use them if you want. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Shoot me questions if you have questions. Go to the Facebook group, add your questions. I'd love to help because I actually have done this stuff, so I can maybe help you troubleshoot a little bit. But have a great week at school this week, and I hope to see you back next Monday. Good night, everyone.